Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.
Current Gursikh family, let's say the Khalsa family, most of us don't even know about Dasam Dwar. Most of, not this Amritaris, I'm talking about the general Sangat. Most people don't even know that it exists, that there's such thing as Naam, there's such thing as Bani experience. They don't even think that, they don't even know about it. So therefore, how are we going to get them to get to the stages that we want them to get to? First, we have to convince them there's something called spirituality, there's something called Naam. So we have to work so hard. So maybe our kids, right, they learn about Dasam Dua when they're young, they start to experience Naam when they're young, and they start talking about Anhaj Shabad, and then their kids, maybe, can get to, be such Khandwasis while they're alive. We've got a long way to go in our Panth to bring back that Chardi Kala that we had. Chardi Kala that we had in our Panth? You guys are all, hands up if you're like over 14 or 15. So nearly everybody here, huh? Well, in the old days, the Bibbiya that had their babies thrown up and skewered on spears and chopped into pieces and put around their necks, those girls weren't much older than you. Because in those days, you used to get married at 14, 15, 16, and they had their children straight away. So there were 16-year-old girls that were prepared to have their babies chopped into pieces and around their neck. And not one of them in history, not a single one of them decided to convert to Islam. How much strength must those kids had from a young age? The bhakti, the kamai that was there generally. Now Mahapurukh I told you about that only read like Panchapodi apart. He said to me, he goes, in the old days, the Singhs would take their kirpan and they would poke it into food, and that food would get purified. They had so much kamai. The Janam was about Naam, Bani. People had so much Bani Kant. If you look at Paisam Singh, and he goes, nowadays people want to have pure food because they can't purify it with their own kamai. But in the old days, the Singhs would purify their food. And if you look at Paisam Singh's book, when they're talking about jail chittiyan, when they went to prison, and they list down all the part that people had memorized. Right? They list down the Ennu Inni Bani Kant Sigi, Ennu Inni Bani Kant Sigi. Panjabani, it was like that. It was nothing special to have your Panjabani Kant. Ajkal, you got Panjabani Kant. Ooh. Well, I'll tell you that, it's nothing special. Yeah? In those, they talk about people like Akal Ustad Sahib Kant, Sukhmani Sahib Kant. They're walking around. They could read Bani to you non-stop for like 5-6 hours, and they still had more Shabads memorized. So, we're very far away from that Gursikhi that was bred into these children when they were young. That the children, when they were about 15 years old, they already had like the Panj Granthi memorized, and they had so much Bani Kant, and they could do the Granthi Seva, the Gurdwara, in a blink of an eye. Ajkal, it's embarrassing sometimes, and I know, when we go to camps and stuff, you got kids of Sikh families and they're sitting there and they're reading the Ardas in Romanized English, and they're messing up every single akhar. And where have we gone away from that? Sikhi kitte gayi ne? We've lost so much of what was it all about Shabad. The Sikhs would be like attached to Gurbani like anything, and that made their Sharda, they made the Avastha so high when they were young. So it was coming back, but we got a long of work to do. But when we bring that back now, the world will be like, who are these Sikhs? Who are you? Like these young kids that are like got so much kamai. The kids will be like, if you're this now, what is your guru like? This is what's going to happen in the future. Sikhs are going to be the prachar. Right now, YouTube is having to be prachar. But in the future, walking, talking Sikhs will be so strong that the prachar is going to be so powerful.
Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.